It is day 29 of a regional war that has engulfed the Middle East. Across thousands of miles, the exchanges of ballistic missiles and drone swarms have left deep, smoldering scars in the landscape. The human toll is mounting, with casualties surpassing 1,340. Among the dead is the highest-profile target of the conflict, Iran's former supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The United States military is absorbing heavy financial and tactical hits. Retaliatory strikes destroyed a $300 million radar associated with a THAAD missile defense system, part of the $800 million in damage reported at regional bases. In return, the U.S. and Israel have hit over 87,000 sites inside Iran. These strikes range from academic institutions like the Isfahan University of Technology to massive industrial refinery complexes. Both sides are spending billions of dollars on high-tech kinetic strikes, and both are suffering heavy losses. Conventional warfare has produced a bleeding, unresolvable stalemate. To break this military deadlock, Iran has shifted its strategy away from direct confrontation in the sky to a focus on global geography. They are exploiting a narrow stretch of water just 21 nautical miles wide, the Strait of Hormuz. By turning away international shipping and harassing vessels, Iranian forces have effectively closed the passage. This action traps a fifth of the globe's energy supply at sea. This has triggered an infrastructure hostage situation. President Donald Trump issued a deadline to strike Iranian power plants if the strait isn't reopened. In response, Iran threatened to destroy desalination facilities and IT networks across the neighboring Gulf states. The war is now being fought through the economic arteries of the global supply chain. Crude oil futures are crossing the $100 threshold, but standard models miss the choke point's interdependencies. Zooming out, oil is just one node in global trade. Kiel Institute research shows a chain reaction. A disruption here propagates through linked systems, choking supplies far beyond crude. Beyond the rising price of gasoline at the pump, a secondary shockwave is building deep within the supply chain. The global food system relies on a chemical dependency. Modern agriculture requires constant inputs of hydrocarbon derivatives produced heavily in the Gulf. This diagram shows the conversion from natural gas to urea fertilizer. When shipments block, production halts. A timeline overlay reveals a red bottleneck across the spring planting season. This freeze also paralyzes energy-intensive manufacturing, like aluminum and steel production. A geopolitical energy shock has mutated into a structural agricultural crisis. Without chemicals to plant crops this spring, a global food shortage is certain. Facing this economic cascade, the United States demanded that its NATO allies deploy naval forces to break the Hormuz blockade. That demand met a wall of resistance. Historic allies, including the United Kingdom, Germany, and Canada, declined to send ships to unblock the strait. These nations have refused to be dragged into an offensive war that they did not initiate. The Hormuz blockade has exposed a fracture in Western military alliances, leaving the United States diplomatically isolated on the world stage. While Western powers argue over naval deployments, the real-world human cost is hitting the developing world. This map highlights South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa in deep red. Food price spikes of 10 to 15% are already hitting countries like Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and India. As data points appear for North America and Europe, the inequality of the damage becomes visible. The welfare losses in the global south are estimated to be 10 to 20 times larger than the economic inconveniences felt in the US and the EU. This crisis carries a terrifying permanence. Even if a ceasefire is signed tomorrow and the ships start moving, the structural damage to the 2026 planting season is already locked in. The concept of a contained regional war is dead. The weaponization of global trade choke points is the most devastating tactic in modern warfare, capable of inflicting mass casualties without dropping a single bomb.